Hello and welcome to the Weekend Roundup show on DR Sports with myself, Pippa Monique, and Lewis back in the building. I mean, it's been another great weekend of football. Maybe not so much for you, but we'll get to it. Definitely. Is that sarcasm?
Yes, massive sarcasm, but we move, is what it is.
Do you know what? Even though it was a very important game of the weekend, we're not kicking off with that one today. But we will get there. Good. We're kicking off with Liverpool v Brentford, a whole complete different game to when they played earlier this season with that dramatic 3-3 thriller. No goals registered for Brentford in this one. And Liverpool have won each of their last 5 home Premier League games by an aggregate score of 15-1. So safe to say Anfield is a fortress. Yeah,
Liverpool are just doing what we expected them at this point, but it feels a bit weak now because personally think the title race is done.
I feel like this is all you're going to say.
Yeah, title race is done now. Like, I've already said for us, if we had any hope of it, you have to get a result against City and hold them back. We didn't do it. They've got 3 extra points on us. Maintained their gap against Liverpool too, who were already behind us before we even played that fixture. Title race is over. It's just a race for top 3, top 4 at this point. Because we were talking before and I just realised you guys will be above us if you win your games in hand, which is even better, but we're here, I guess.
Don't be too sad about it, man. There's always next year. You remember you are
said
champions
there's always
of Europe.
Next year. Now we're turning into the Liverpool fans.
It's the Bees' longest winless league run on the road since a streak of 15 without a win from April to December 2018 in the Championship, of course. So they started off the league, of course, amazingly. This one is just not looking too good now. Yeah. In this winter period. Yeah,
but it's also to be expected. Like, we were very impressed with Brentford at the start of the season, but it's not like a Wolves where they're coming up and they have a squad that was never meant to be in the Championship in the first place. They were just punching really high above their weight. Now, I still think they're going to stay up. Yeah. I think it's got a little bit more difficult for them, but with the performances you've seen of them, you know what they're capable of too, and I do think that they're going to produce enough of those results to stay up, so
Definitely. I'm not too worried. It's not like they didn't struggle really against Liverpool. They had chances to score, they even hit the frame and, yeah, never mind. Of course, Liverpool are the top scorers in the season's Premier League, netting 55 goals, the most they've ever scored in the first 21 league matches from the start of a top-flight campaign. But, as you said, title race is looking like it's over, so doesn't really amount to much. Right, so let's focus on the top 4 campaign now. You said the title race is pretty much over. A candidate for top 4 who's pretty much been in and about there for a majority of the season, who they've been there actually, West Ham. A loss at home against Leeds, who haven't had the greatest campaign so far. What did you make of that game?
See, West Ham, it's another one like very similar to Brentford where they've started the season very well, but now they're struggling for consistency.
I wouldn't say struggling though.
No, not struggling in terms of form. I mean, struggling in terms of getting consistent results on the board. And I still think they're going to be around the top 4 race. They definitely aren't going to drop off. But it's the experience in this sort of battle that I think they're struggling with a little bit. And we've already said we're going to wait till the end of the season and see how they cope with this in Europa League football too. Yeah. This is the period where you'd want to see West Ham start to churn out results. And it's not like they've been playing badly. Like, they literally climbed to 4th in their last game. Yeah. So they're not in terrible form. It's just, I don't know whether they have the consistency to last at this rate, especially now we're seeing Arsenal start to build up more of a stronger position there. Tottenham are another one who aren't really showing the consistency, but they're about in the race too. You've got West Ham in there. Yeah. Man United, if they ever end up fixing up, might even be back in the race too. Even we're dropping into this top 4 race. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure with West Ham. Like, they have a solid team. Yep. They've done really well for themselves, but I'm not too sure whether they have the consistency for this battle.
I guess some will agree, but West Ham fans will probably say they're massive. They're going to say they're massive. Big up Leeds on the win. And, of course, Jack Harrison with an amazing hat-trick. Yeah,
I won't say big up Leeds for historical reasons, but thank God that they got a result against us because it's the only good performance we've had this weekend.
You say a result against us?
Us, sorry.
Oh, he's a West Ham fan.
I'm always thinking about
out.
What do you mean? Don't even try that. I can't be asked.
Leeds United have won more Premier League games against West Ham United than any other side in competition's history. So they've beaten West Ham 15 times. And they've also won 2 of their last 4 away league games in London, losing 2, as many as their previous 29 such matches combined. So they've won 2, drawn 7, lost 20. And no side has scored more goals from corners since the start of 2020 in the Premier League than West Ham with 24. They've netted from a corner in 3 of their 4 league games against Leeds in that time.
Yeah, West Ham have been notoriously good at corners, though. They've got so many tall players and they dominate the box. I remember This is back a few seasons when we lost 3-2 at the London Stadium. They absolutely packed us on the corners. You got the likes of Thomas Souček, you got Rice, you got Kurt Zouma, you got so many players. They're a massive force when it comes to corners. I think we were up top for a few months as well, but I think West Ham are the most scored in the league. Am I correct?
Well, I just said that. Yeah.
Oh, that's where I heard it from. Can't be asked.
Villa 2, Man United 2. You might be asked about this one because this was a very interesting game.
Yeah, Brighton up my weekend.
I did not see Villa getting back. Well, not that I didn't see. I wanted it to happen, but I was thinking the game's getting along now. We're getting to like the 70th minute, whatever it is, and I don't see them coming back 2-0 down. But Jacob Ramsey, can we talk about this kid?
We can talk about Villa on this, but then it's also a case of Manchester United too.
Yeah.
Like, their form has been horrific this season. I personally said, as soon as they get a new manager, that should be the end of their inconsistent form. They'll start looking like the title contenders they threaten to be. Yeah, it looks like it now, because I thought Rangnick would have been the answer for them, but he hasn't got a clue what he's doing with the squad. And Loki, I'm starting to question him as well, because you saw the stuff that happened with Martial, right?
Yeah, why did he come out and say that?
He said Martial didn't want to play for the team, and Martial's come out and literally said the guy was lying. It's one person's voice against the other.
It's weird.
It's only a few weeks in, the guy already looks like he's not got control of that dressing room. And I will say, the players are a big reason for why Manchester United are failing too. And now Ollie's sacked, they've got no protection. They have to be able to fix up, otherwise the finger's going to be directly pointed at them. But all I can see now is that this is what the biggest issue is.
So what do you think went wrong for United? I mean, Fernandes did everything he could, got the nice 2-goal cushion, the lead. The
midfield stinks.
Yeah. Defensively, I mean...
Defence stinks as well.
That goal, that Coutinho has arrived, by the way. He is here, he is back in the Premier League, and he made sure everyone knew about it. Imagine scoring on your debut against Man United, come on.
Quality never disappeared with him. I think it was just a case of the team that he was in, the system he was playing, but it does give me a little bit of bright hope that if we got certain Premier League legends who are struggling in La Liga and they want to come back. Such as, you know, Belgian brilliance, best player in England for the last 10 years. If he wants to come back, personally, I thought the ability's still there with him too. So I'm got my heart hoping that we can bring Eden Hazard back, because 3 years he's been gone. And I still think, even in spite of all the injuries that he has more creativity in his right foot than the rest of our attack combined.
Moving on, shall we?
Let's go.
Newcastle United 1, Watford 1. Now, the thing is with Newcastle, man, I actually want to see them win. They go up 1-0 so many times. I cannot count how many times it's been this season. They go 1-0 up, and I literally was watching the game thinking, they're going to equalise. It's not going to last long. Joel Linton had chances, header onto the frame, I think it was, frame of the goal. I mean, they should have just won that game, but they just don't have it in them to take a lead and hold it to the end of the game.
It's the team. Like, Newcastle, and I think it's because of the takeover as well. Everyone's now starting to suspect a lot more of Newcastle as a side. But let's be real, this is one of the worst teams in the league, and for good reason. Like, they could barely hold on to possession. When they've got the ball, they aren't doing anything incisive with it. The football's boring, and this is a must-win game for them. Like, this is a relegation six-pointer.
Well, this one definitely.
That's the thing. Like, every game's must-win for them. But the games against your own rivals, these are the ones that you have to be getting points against, and they struggled. Absolutely struggled against a Watford side they should have beat, and they threw the lead away.
As always, Newcastle have dropped 21 points from winning positions in the Premier League this season. Just this season, at least 3 more than any other side. That's what I'm saying. They've been 1-0 up countless times already. And
they've dropped it every single time because they haven't got the game management, they haven't got the players.
And Watford now remain the only side in England's top 4 tiers without a league clean sheet this season. The Hornets have conceded in each of their last 29 Premier League matches since a 3-0 win against Liverpool in February 2020. Now, of course, Watford, that's not a great
And they still couldn't
stat.
get a result against them, which is just saying it all about them. Because for me, Watford were already guaranteed relegation candidates. And to be fair, there have been phases where they've done really well. I thought around the end of November to December period, they were really starting to kick on a little bit. But this was a game where Newcastle were really meant to get a result. They were put in a perfect position by a brilliant individual goal by St. Maximin, and they threw the lead away.
Tommy, can we talk about this goal? I was just looking at it again before we started filming, and like, he should not have scored that. Technically, I've never seen someone run at that speed, drop to the ground and get back up that quickly, have control of the ball, beat past.
He's too good.
Beat
for
every
them.
player and score.
He's too good for Newcastle
He shouldn't be allowed to score that goal.
No, but this is just quality right there, and I think could potentially be the best dribbler in the league. He's already up there as one of, but we've seen him score goals like this so often and single-handedly carry Newcastle's attacks. Like, their main aim is get the ball to him and see if he can beat 2 or 3 players, and he does it for fun.
Yeah, he can.
Does it for fun. And if they get relegated, I don't even know if they sell him or if they loan him out to a club for a season, but I don't see him leaving. Only because
of the rebuild.
Yeah, he could genuinely be there for the whole Newcastle rebuild and be the only player in the squad that's there when they were 20th to when they're a point where they're contending for the league title.
Oh, how soon is
He's got the quality. That would be about 3-4 years, maybe.
What? Are you giving them 3-4 years?
Well, they're probably going down, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you've got another year to get back up. But I always thought, like, Newcastle could be in a position to challenge for the league title if they do it correctly in about 2 or 3 seasons.
Wow.
Because all you need a director of football.
I'm still trying to get into top 4.
To build a style of play. I know you guys are doing it as well now, but you get a director of football to build a style of play. You get the players for that style of play too, and they're the richest club in the world. So it's literally like, what player do you want? There's some cash, bring him here.
Like
2-3 years,
Trippier.
Yeah, 2-3 years, let them mesh together,
Yeah.
and then you got a squad ready to contend for the title. The only thing is they have to build slowly. The only problem is now they're going to have another year if they go down where they have to go back up. But you build a team to contend for top 4, then you build a team with a few more extra players added into it, and suddenly they're title contenders.
Yeah. Here we go. Talk about another team now that's within that category of teams at the bottom of the table, favourites for relegation, possibly the worst start to the Premier League. Norwich got a win against Everton. Now, I would not have predicted that, would you? 2-1 win at home.
The way Everton have been playing the last few months, you might have. No, Everton have been horrific. They've been so bad.
So have Norwich.
So have Norwich, but like it's more understandable based on the quality of the squad. Like you don't really expect much of Norwich. You know they're going to give a fight about it, but they're probably going to lose. They're just going to go down swinging. Everton have no fight. They've got no confidence. There's no belief in the players. There's no belief in the fans. The manager doesn't look... Well, he's not there anymore. I was going to say he didn't want to be there. Now he's not even there. Everton's a mess from top to bottom. So, like, for Norwich to get a result against them, it's a big result for them.
Massive,
I saw the scenes in the ground as well. Like, they were all loving it. But I'd expect it because that Everton side is horrific. And Benitez, I can't lie, he's done a job on them. Like, imagine you go in as a Liverpool legend, you take Everton to near relegation, you sell their best player to Steven Gerrard, and then you dip.
It's a bit mad.
Like, definitely an agent. Definitely an agent. I know he tried and everything, but he did such a terrible job with Everton, and the fans know it. And now he's gone, I'd say, would they get better? Not really.
They have to.
I just think they're not getting relegated. That's it. Wow. Other than that, like, Everton are a mess. And the problem wasn't just Rafa. The problem was the board. It was the players they brought in over the last 5 to 6 years that they all have to get rid of now. Like, we both know as well from our teams, like, when you have Deadwood, it takes ages to get rid of them. They've got a whole team of it, personally.
It's a shame,
So really. Everton, I don't see him training for a good few years.
Still got good players. Richarlison with an amazing goal. But anyway.
Well, however long he's there for.
Norwich have won 2 of their 6 Premier League home games under Dean Smith, drawing 1 and losing 3. As many wins as they managed in their final 21 home games in the competition under previous manager Daniel Farke. Everton have won just 19 points from their 19 league games this season. Only twice previously have they had fewer at this stage of a Premier League campaign, and that was in 1997-98 and 2005-06. Rafa sacked. Who's in next? Give me one name. We're moving on. One name.
Probably Duncan Ferguson. It's always their first pick.
Okay. Wolverhampton Wanderers 3, Southampton 1. And now this was an enjoyable game. Wolves completed a top flight double over Southampton for the first time since 1971-72, as well as winning 3 in a row against the Saints in the top tier for the first time since October 1970. And what a win it was.
Yeah, Wolves continuing to build up as well. Like, they've put themselves in a decent position. It's just more Southampton. Again, I'm not really too surprised. It's another one where the team just isn't really showing a lot of fight. Everyone's going to be glorifying the Ward-Prowse free kick. And it's amazing. It's amazing free kick as well, but it's just one individual moment. And Southampton as a squad just look depleted, to be honest. Like, there's another one of a case of a team that just doesn't really have a clue.
Yeah. Well, Southampton have conceded 2 or more goals in 14 of their last 16 Premier League away games, 39 goals conceded in total. While this season, only Norwich have shipped more goals on the road in the top flight, 25 conceded by the Canaries, 24 by the Saints. Not looking good. But let's get on to one of the big games of the weekend. Manchester City 1, Chelsea 0. Now, I didn't actually get to speak to you before this game. How did you feel as a Chelsea fan going into this game? Were you confident that Chelsea could get the win?
Oh, I thought we were going to lose anyway.
Oh, didn't expect that.
I thought Tuchel is definitely capable of getting a result against him. But if I'm looking at our form going into the game, if I'm looking at City's form, I'm also looking at the players in the squad, just thought, nah. Like, I'd be very surprised if we got a result against them. And it showed. Midfield, like, we just got carved open. There was no stability there. We just kept losing possession. The attack just had no presence about them. Lukaku didn't win a single aerial duel and just stood around scratching his arse for 90 minutes.
I know you said at the top of the show the title race is done. Does this now make... I know everyone has differing views, but how do you feel about the Premier League having leaders and winners at this point in the season? Does it make the season boring?
Not really.
I know there's other things to focus on, like top 4 and the relegation battle, but isn't it more exciting when it goes down to the wire, like the whole Aguero, like when it literally goes down to the last day? I think that's more exciting. For me, I find that more exciting.
It definitely is, but the problem is no one's at Manchester City's level. And they are turning it into a farmers league, but it's also because of the other teams around us. Like Liverpool, if they focus on increasing the quality of their depth a bit more, they would be up there. Chelsea, if they did the exact same thing, they'd be up there too, but we're not doing it, which is a reason why Manchester City are able to pull away as quickly as they do. We aren't reaching up to their standards, and they've raised very high standards for the rest of the league. That's on us. So it is a bit of a farmers league, but it can also be changed too. Just like, for us, we need to be smarter with our scouting. Our scouting has been horrific the last few years. Even in spite of all the money that we spent and the players that we brought in, it's not a team. It's a bunch of different players with different styles of play meshed together and asked to make things work. That's why our attack never looks cohesive. I
personally think the title being done this early on, whether it's in January or beginning of February, I think it's boring. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, because I'd rather have it down a little bit further, at least April, something. Just get it down.
So would I, and I understand that. But like we said, there's also other things to focus on. Like the relegation fight looks ridiculous. The fight for 4th looks tighter than
That's going to be the most exciting part of the season now.
It has been the last 3 or 4 years, if we're being honest. The top 4 races always look better than the title race, because there always seems to be one team that pulls away. I think 18-19 was the only tight one that we had. That one went to the final day. The other one's been Liverpool winning in April, Man City winning it in basically December or January, and just rinse and repeat for the next 4 years. Well, it is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, sadly.
Brighton 1, Crystal Palace 1. Do we still call it? Is it still like a? I've been to this game once, and I know they've got this real rivalry going on. Is it still a big rivalry?
It was never a big rivalry. It just mattered a lot to the 2 teams involved. Everyone else just struggles to understand the significance of it. All I know is that something to do in the 70s or the 80s. I couldn't really tell you for the life of me, but they both care about it, and it looks like a good rivalry to watch as a neutral.
I've been to that game. I went to a Selhurst Park game, and I was like, whoa, this is intense. But Brighton are now unbeaten in their last 4 Premier League games, winning 2 and drawing 2, taking 8 points in that time, as many as they managed in their previous 11 top-flight fixtures. And Crystal Palace have enjoyed just 1 win in their last 12 away Premier League games, drawing 4 and losing 7 after winning 3 of the 7 before that. I mean, it was always going to be a tough game to call. They both have this element of where they have moments where they look very good, especially Crystal Palace. They've just been improving under Vieira. But Brighton are just, they have this standard where even if they drop a little bit, it's not a massive loss or a massive shock to anyone.
Brighton's tactics is the thing. That's what saves them the most, because of how good Graham Potter is as a manager. Which is, again, so surprising that he got that stick at the start of the season, because you see the quality. You see the quality that he shows too. Vieira, like, he's done amazing with Crystal Palace as well. They've struggled a little bit in terms of holding on to Leeds, but they're growing under him, and he's had a very impressive start under them too. So I think the future's really bright for Crystal Palace. The question is, do they keep on to their best players? Like Conor Gallagher, for example, is definitely gone in the summer. There's no way Chelsea are going to let him go back on loan for next season. The only one I really see him keeping is Wilfried Zaha, but they've got him on that death row contract, so he isn't going anywhere.
Listen, it's been some good football this week. And of course, one game that couldn't be played, we've spoken a lot about it everywhere. Spurs v Arsenal, North London derby.
Ridiculous.
All right, let's hear your thoughts quickly. You got 30 seconds, lay it out.
I understand Arsenal doing what they were doing because you guys got shagged by Liverpool last week. The FA are the ones that made the awful rule, and there's an easy loophole for you guys to find a way through. Oh, one COVID case though. I can't get past that. It's ridiculous, but the problem's more the FA than you guys.
To be fair, I'm shocked. I didn't think they would even allow it to happen.
I was just thinking, like, you're not really running away from Tottenham like that. Like, Conte's Spurs are horrific.
No, no one's running away. I'm
you
surprised.
Lot ran away.
I'm surprised with the way how stubborn Arteta comes across, and Arsenal in general. I didn't think they would even...
No, Arteta defo comes across as stubborn.
I didn't think he would even request it, to be honest with you. But the game's the game.
I'm not surprised, but I understand it. It's annoying because we did need to see the result, and I also do kind of need a result from Tottenham in there.
Gotta wait.
But it is what it is. Those games can creep up on you guys towards the run, and you guys have enough free midweeks anyway.
Well, now that you couldn't involve Saka and Smith Rowe in your team of the week, because I'm pretty sure they would have got in there against Tottenham. What is your team of the week for the games that we have discussed and seen?
I actually need to pull it out.
All right,
Give me a second. So in goal we had, I think I went for Jack Butland. He had an amazing...
I was going to go for him, you know.
Yeah, like I expected him to flop.
Yeah.
But he had an amazing performance against Brighton, saved the penalty as well, so he's my pick. Trent got another assist, so I put him in at right back with Grant Hanley, who was one of the standout performers against Everton. John Stones I picked over Laporte because I didn't really expect him to dominate Lukaku the way that he did. Laporte I could understand a bit more because he has the name power about him. But Stones has flown a bit more under the radar, so I picked him. I went Luca Dean because he had an amazing debut against Manchester United too.
Yeah.
The midfield, Bruno got 2 goals, so he has to go in. De Bruyne got the key goal against us, so he went in too. I put Jacob Ramsey in there, but I wanted to put Coutinho in there. Just wasn't an option for it just yet. But I would have gone for Coutinho.
We've literally got the same team so far, but go on.
Same team?
Almost, pretty much.
Say less. I went Coutinho for the goal and assist. Rafinha and Harrison on the wings because they both absolutely battered West Ham, and I went Raheem Sterling in the middle. We've
literally got the same team, bar. I'll go through mine now. So I went for Jose Sarr in goal, right back Trent Alexander, centre backs Conor Cody and Laporte, and Luca Dini as well on the left hand side. Gone for midfield Jacob Ramsey, Kevin De Bruyne and Fernandes. I would have put them in there anyway, but I would have changed my formation. Disclaimer, Coutinho is not available on the app yet, but he will be by the time you see this probably. Will be very soon. But if he was available, Coutinho would be straight in my team of the week. So disclaimer before the comments, like, how could they leave out Coutinho? I've gone for Harrison. I think his name's Ida for Norwich that scored the goal. Yeah. And Rafinha.
Yeah, so that's just like one or two differences. That's it. I
mean, quality is quality, isn't it? I'm surprised none of us went for St. Maximin, but... Yeah,
you know what? Yeah, but I had to put Sterling in there, even though it was Marcus Alonso tax. He absolutely battered him on the left.
All right, looking forward to the games, the midweek games coming up. Let's go through these quickly. We've got Burnley, Watford. Burnley have kept a clean sheet in each of their last 3 league games against Watford. How do you see this one going?
They just lost their best striker, though, to Newcastle, so I'm not too sure. Nah, 0-0. Yeah, no, I'm just going to go dead 0-0.
I still think Burnley will win this one, and I'm going Burnley 1-0.
Yeah, I don't see anything in this one, personally. I think they keep a clean sheet. Yeah. I don't think Watford struggle to break them down, but Burnley will have nothing up top either, so they're just going to cancel each other out. Okay, let's see. Brighton, Chelsea. I know you're going to talk about Chelsea a lot here. Brighton have drawn their last 2 league games against Chelsea, picking up more points from these 2 games than they had in their first 11 league meetings with the Blues. Chelsea have never lost in 13 league meetings with Brighton. They've won 10, drawn 3. It's the most the Blues have faced an opponent without ever losing in their league history. So judging by those stats, I'm sure you're going to go with a Chelsea win, of course. Only because I always go for a Chelsea win. I'm going to say 1-0 Chelsea. But Brighton absolutely battered us the last time we played, especially in the second half. Yeah. Yeah, and I could see it happen again. Something's telling me
1-1, but I do think Chelsea will win.
And I don't like it.
Something's telling me 1-1, man.
I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea because I always back my team, but I could imagine us playing like trash again. I'm
going to go 1-1. I think a Chelsea win, but you know what? I'm going to go 1-0. Leicester v Tottenham. Leicester have won 2 of their last 4 Premier League games against Tottenham. So it sounds so weird saying that. I want to say Spurs. It sounds so weird saying Tottenham. As many as they had in their previous 12 against them. And Spurs have won this exact fixture 4-2 in May last season. Last winning back-to-back away league games against Leicester in October 2003 and December 2014.
Both teams haven't really been great this season, so I'm not sure.
It's like kind of like an equal match at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where this one goes. I'll say because it's home, I'll just give Leicester. And also because I would rather see Leicester get a result in this game.
I can agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, Spurs will be out. Spurs will be without Heung-min Son as well, so they ain't gonna have any attack. Yeah, I'll go for Leicester in this one. I'm
gonna go 1-0. Oh, lots of 1-0s. I'm going 1-0 Leicester. Brentford v Man United. This is the first league meeting between Brentford and Manchester United. Because remember the original one was postponed since April 1947, a goalless draw at Griffin Park in the top flight. And Man United won the last time they faced Brentford in any competition, winning the League Cup tie 2-1 at Old Trafford in September.
I ain't gonna know.
1975, thanks to goals from Lou Macquarie and Sammy McIlroy.
Yeah, I don't know which one this way is gonna go either, because
can't call it.
Yeah, I would expect United to win. But like United have been so inconsistent, so hard to predict. It might be another draw, you know. Might be another draw.
My heart is telling me a Brentford win, but my head is telling me Man United will win this one. So I'm going to go Manchester United 2-1. Yeah, I expect them, but every time I expect them, they don't win. It's so weird.
I'm going to go 2-2. I might do another 2-2.
That's probably more realistic, but I'll go 2-1 Manchester United. If they don't win, it's better for us anyway. Don't forget, we have more AFCON coverage here for you on DR Sports tomorrow. Ghana v Comoros, 6:30 p.m. Another live stream and the watch along for some more AFCON coverage. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. I've been Pippa Monique. Lewis, thanks for joining me.
As always.
And of course, you can do your own Team of the Week on drsportsextra.com. Get those in and let us know in the comments who you would have in your Team of the Week. And we'll see you next time for more sports content.